Hey everyone, welcome to another video on the Red Zone where we break down Manchester United pre-game, post-game, anything you want, and we'll try and break them down on what we think, and this is all my opinions. So let's get straight into it. So what this video is going to be about is before the Liverpool match, my expected line now, how I think they're gonna play, what do you think is going to be the issues, and we'll go from there. So first of all, I just want to say this lineup by here, or here, whatever it will be, is what I think is the correct lineup. This is what I want. Do I think this is going to happen? No. This is my lineup I want to happen. Okay. So Anana in goal, that's given. No one else can play it. We've got Mazraoui. I want to play Ligt and Martinez. The reason is I want to play a high line. The reason I want to play a high line is because that's the way I want us to play football. I think to combat Liverpool and their midfield, we need to play a high line, squeeze that pitch as much as we can. And I think them two as centre-back can do that and should be able to do that. The reason I've gone for De Ligt, obviously left-back instead of Mazraoui, I think that's the way that Ten Hag has been doing it. Delot's been playing at left-back and Mazraoui at right-back. So that's that's how Ten Hag wants to keep it at the moment, which I can't complain. It's been working the best it can. That's how I'm going to keep it. But for me, De Ligt has to start. We need to be able to play from the back. Let Anana come out and play that sweeper keeper that he loves to do. Yes, it's a risky thing to do, but Liverpool have got some very fast wingers. Very, very, very pacey players who can obviously exploit Maguire. And I think with De Ligt there, and Martinez, who, don't get me wrong, they're not the fastest, but they've played high lines. They know what to look for. They know how to combat it. I think they need to start. And that is my personal opinion. They have to start. In the centre of the midfield, for me, it has to be Mainu. And Agate, I don't know how fit Agate is. I know he hasn't been playing, but he has been training with the PSG team. So he should be fit. How fit is he going to be? I don't know. But unfortunately, we can't play Casemiro. We can't. He hasn't got the legs. He's killing Mainu. We need to have some fresh legs, a bit of pace, a bit of ferocity in that midfield where they can play a pivot. They can take it in turns to go forward. They can both play the number 8/number 6 and they can both do it well. Hopefully they can play it well and pivot naturally. We'll see. Again, this is what I want to happen. I'll show you what I expect will happen in just a second, which is not going to look like this, obviously. Our two best wingers need to start in Diallo and obviously Garnacho. They need to start this game. They have been our standout wingers from day one. For me, I still don't know why Garnacho is on the bench and Rashford is starting. I just don't get it. He is by far a better player. He looks like he's built up a little bit. He's got a bit more stockier, but still hasn't lost his pace. He looks ready for it. He looks like he wants to go on the pitch and bang in 3-4 goals a game. He may not 100%. I get that, but at least he's showing it. Unlike a lot of our players right now, they're not showing that. You got to start with Bruno Fernandes at number 10. That's a given. I don't think anybody else will take that from him. His creativity, his work rate, everything he's able to do, grab a goal. He's able to play that pass 1 in a million times, and he'll pass it and he'll find it. He's able to see that vision in that game that you need to see as a Manchester United number 10. And then up front, then I want a striker. I want none of this false 9 rubbish that's going on. Do I think it will happen? Probably not. Xerxes has to start up front for me. Brilliant talent. He can find a goal. Look, he was a bit unlucky the weekend, don't get me wrong. It is what it is. But he was in the right positions for me. He's always there and thereabouts, and that's what I want from my striker, to be there and thereabouts. So, what do I think will be the lineup? Well, this is what I think will be the lineup. As you can see, it's a lot different. It's basically the same as last week. I do think De Ligt will start. I think with Maguire's mistakes the weekend, I think he will start ahead of Maguire. I do think that Casemiro will start because I don't think Agate is fit enough. I don't think he's match fit. And I think that's probably why we won't see him until probably after the international break. If I'm really honest with you, properly, like properly playing. You know what I mean? And I think Rashford will start. I do think Rashford will start because this weird obsessiveness of starting Marcus Rashford every single game, and I don't know why. He showed absolutely nothing, nothing at all last weekend. Absolutely nothing. He didn't offer nothing. He was offside. For one of the fastest players in the Premier League, he was offside more than anybody else in that game. I think he was offside 7 times in one game. 7 opportunities you've given to the opposite team to start from a dead ball opportunity. You cannot do that in the Premier League. You can't do it. You're not going to be afforded that time. You are going to get ripped to shreds every single time that happens. You can't do that. You're just going to end back on your 18-yard line, just doing the same thing. Defend, because they're going to have the ball every single time. And I'm surprised with Rude there that they're able to get away with it. I really am. And that needs to be looked into and sorted as soon as possible. Next, then, we're going to talk about this false 9 rubbish that keeps being playing. I do think he'll start with Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes. And the reason for that is I think he wants the bodies in midfield who will do the running for him. My issue with that is you have got 2 number 10s on the pitch who are going to be knackered by the end of it. Who have you got to bring on instead of them? You've got a broken Christian Eriksen. You've got rid of Scott McTominay, who you obsessed with, which is really bizarre. I still don't understand that. It needs to be sorted as soon as possible. We cannot start against Liverpool with a false 9. It does not work. Okay? We need to start with a striker, but I can guarantee you this by here, or by there, wherever it is going to be the starting lineup. Guarantee you. And this is where Ten Hag is going to shoot himself in the foot. He is digging that grave, ready for him to jump in, because he is going to get sacked if he carries on like this. In the Premier League, you can't play with a false 9. The only team I know to do it was Man City, and they're a different breed. Man City, you cannot keep up with like this. Fact. Period. Can't argue it. That is it. So my personal opinion, this is going to be the starting lineup, personally. I'll be very surprised if it's not this. And I generally feel that Mason Mount opportunity there is not good enough for Manchester United. I think Mason Mount would be a perfect number 10 option coming off the bench. I think he can replace Bruno, don't get me wrong. He's nowhere near as talented as Bruno Fernandes. Nowhere near. And you can argue with me that until you're blue in the face. He's nowhere near as talented as Bruno Fernandes. In finding that pass, the way he progresses the ball. Okay, counter-attacking wise, Bruno Fernandes is probably the best number 10 in the world. My personal opinion. Counter-attacking football, he can find that pass over the top for a Rashford, for anybody to go on to. But when we're controlling the play and we got a bit more control, I think Mason Mount will come into it then. I think he's better with the ball at his feet in terms of the short passing. I think he's a lot more composed. I think Bruno's very erratic on the ball. I think he can lose the ball very silly. And I think Mason Mount has a place in this side, but not at the moment. I think he needs to. He's an impact player from the bench. When the legs are tired, he can come on and he can control that game a little bit more. When we've got probably not against Liverpool. I'm going to be real. We probably won't do it against Liverpool. Talking about Liverpool, what a side they are, by the way. I got him down to finish potentially 3rd or 2nd. If not, they could go all the way. They have got the squad to do it. They've got the manager and they've got the players bedding into that style of football, and they know what they want. Liverpool are a very, very dangerous side. Very dangerous side this year. Last year, I think they had a bit of a wobble, but with the way that Klopp plays this side, they normally have an on and off season all the way through, just because the high intensity football that he demands, they can't do it. They can't do it for 2 seasons in a bounce. And under Slot, they play a different style of football, and I think it suits the older generations of players. I think Robinson will thrive in that system they play, and I think we've got a big issue, because the way they counter attack now is like us, but better. They're a lot more consistent. I think with Jota up front, they are a different animal. When they've got when they've got different players up front or different players on the pitch, I think we can afford to be a bit sloppy, knowing that they may not finish. But Liverpool are a different breed. Different breed this season, and I think they're going to be a very, very dangerous side to play against. And I think we're in a very big heap of doo-doo, if I'm honest with you. I think if we do not play the correct side, which I believe is my side, which is this one, I think we could be in a big trouble. If we play that, with Casemiro in the midfield, we're going to get overrun. Mainu's going to get overworked. Mount is going to be like a headless chicken. Bruno's going to be a headless chicken. We will not be able to do it. With that one, this side of mine, I feel, is a lot more balanced, personally. And we've got a better chance with that side than we have with the side it's probably going to be. So, for me, we're going to struggle. If we can get a 2-1 win or a 1-0 win, it'd be amazing. And the reason it would be amazing is because if we can get a solid back line with a decent number 6 in front, preferably not Casemiro, I think we can have a very good chance of grabbing a draw. I think the draw is the best result for us, if I'm really honest with you. Me being brutally honest, I think a draw is probably our best result we're going to get. If it goes badly wrong, we could see a cricket scoreline like before, a 4-5-0. And you know what these players are like when they start going down. The likes of Rashford, the likes of Bruno Fernandes. When things are not going their way, they throw their arms, they kick off, they do whatever they need to. And that's a big issue for me. If we do concede very early, I can see this being a cricket score, and I think this could be a bit of trouble. So that is my quick look into the game ahead for Manchester United. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Personally, I think, look, pretend we're playing that side. I think we've got a very good chance of getting a draw, potentially a win. You never know. But I got a feeling we're going to be playing this side and very, very counter-attacking football. We'll see. You never know with Ten Hag. One thing you are guaranteed is that he will mess up at some point. Hopefully he doesn't. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get a draw. Potentially even better, a win. Fingers crossed. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Red Zone and become a true Red Zonian. And again, thanks for watching. Take care. Much love. Peace.